folks, or whenever you happen to be watching it. Welcome back to Filament. Okay, I'm not sure why it chose to save where it chose to save, but let's see which puzzles we got right here. Okay. We're learning. Oh, okay, there's two pillars. How about... Okay, can't touch the sides. Alright, I'm done. Okay, I think we got this. I think I understand this. Okay. Okay. This isn't possible. Oh. Fine. These are gonna get rough, I can already tell. Yes, these are gonna be tough.
These anchors? Marmalade had a big part in getting them up and running. You and I are still getting to know each other, but from what I can tell, you two have a lot in common. You're about as talkative as he was anyway. You know, we actually threw him a surprise party a few weeks after we arrived. There were decorations and everything. That might not sound like much, but out here, decorations can be a little hard to come by. We had to make them ourselves.
I realize that my eye
I
tracker's
say
not on.
we. Pistachio took the lead on that. You never believe it from her personality, but damn, Canary can bake. She made this unbelievable chocolate cake. We all had a pretty great time that night.
Yeah.
We needed it.
My eye tracker's
Marmalade
just disconnected. I guess we're gonna pass on it today.
He wasn't in the best place after what happened with the spacewalk.
We already know about that. There's so many cards here. Really, I can't pick that up. Well, we'll see how difficult these get. Oh shoot, this one's got 2 on it. Dang it, I just don't know how to go about this one, like, at all. These are tough for my brain. My brain does not like these. Especially because you can't go around the outside. We've spent like the entire game learning how to go on the outside of things. And now we can't. I do not like this. I don't like this style of puzzle. I don't like it. I really don't like it. Nothing over there for us to link to, which means we have to do it like this. Which means we have to do it like this. Which means it has to come back around. It's mostly just because I don't like the way this changes the way that I have to think about these puzzles, and also because like the path that the filament takes seems to be a little arbitrary sometimes. Like I certainly see that it's an interesting like experiment. Like it's an interesting idea. I don't think it meshes well. Personally, I don't think it meshes well with this game. Oh, come on. Oh, we all know I hate this garbage. That's totally touching. It's totally touching, but guess what? It's not touching. I'm telling you, I think there's some bullshit going on. I think there's some avoidance of physics coding going on. And yeah, that's an accusation. I think that they have purposely I think they have purposely made it so that God damn it. I think they purposely made it so that not all these solutions work. Because there's just too much bullshit physics otherwise. This almost works, except when it doesn't. Oh, come on. Okay. How do you go through this twice then? I know that's the puzzle, but... The fact that you can't wrap around the edges of the gates is what's annoying. Come on. So the way that I think we have to do it is we have to like set, we can't even set that up. Because if we could get through on an angle and then have something to loop around. The problem is this has to be struck like fucking this. We can't get through. I don't want to. How does that not hit? Well, see, watch it magnet to the side right there. Yeah, there's some bullshit going on in the code. There's some bullshit to force certain things to work. And I imagine force things to not work. Because there are definitely some things that have a weird magnetism to them. Which honestly is disappointing. I know why they did it. They did it to protect against shitty code. It all lies on this stupid twofer, and I don't want to deal with it. This is the least motivated I've been by this game thus far, and I that's truly disappointing to me. Stop magneting to the side. Fuck you. We have to go through both of these gates twice. Which just legit straight doesn't work. There's nothing I can do about it. Like, okay, like, ta-da, I went through that twice. Yeah, I went through this twice. Now there's nothing I can do about it. I really don't want to call this game. Like, I could just look up the solutions to these puzzles since I'm not enjoying them. It's like the only way around it is this. This is like the only one that works. See, but I know that doesn't work because we need to hit this. So is the answer something fucking stupid like this? The answer can't be this. There is no way in hell this is the answer. I'm upset. Well, this doesn't work. Of course, that makes it not work. So we gotta do this because I can't fit in between there. And I gotta do this, which doesn't work. This locks us out. Just hate everything. I hate everything about this. Why can't I fit? Because the game doesn't want me to fit. Why doesn't that magnet to the side there? God damn it. Fuck you, game. Just fuck you. This isn't gonna work, but because we've already locked ourselves out. No, we haven't, but we basically have, right? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't think I want to know. God damn it. We have to go through this one twice and this one 3 times. I don't know, like I've really been enjoying this game, and right now I have found the wind to be completely struck from my sails here. Just entirely. The interest just isn't there. Stop fucking magneting to shit. So we can't do that because this never gets used. So I think this is an important part, or important point in time, to talk about puzzle games as like a medium. Because I think there's some important things here to talk about. Partially because of how I approach them, and partially because of how I believe other people should approach them. And the primary... I have no idea how I go through this. I don't even know how I went through this twice. really close. I just... untenable. That has to be the second one if it's going to be the pass. Come on. So yeah, puzzle games. I think puzzle games are good. Like, in general, I think puzzle games are a good way for people to push themselves. I have no idea how this works. Same spot. And that is that I don't know how to get a second line through there. But yeah, games as a whole, and this is true of all games, games are a tool. They are something for us to use. How we use them is entirely up to us. And I think that's important. Because puzzles puzzles exist for a couple reasons. Puzzles exist for a couple reasons. Some of them are, like, and it's multiple reasons, to challenge you, to entertain. Like, there are, like, if there is a puzzle, like, it might be targeted at someone specific. I really hate this game right now. And, like, that's important, I think. Like, being the target of a puzzle means that it is something designed for your enjoyment. No, that doesn't work. And that, of course, doesn't work. We're so close, and yet so goddamn far. I've gotten everything through except one, multiple times. Oh yeah, puzzles are around for us to have fun, for us to enjoy, and in some cases challenge. And when it comes to games, it's all about what you're trying to get out of it. So what I'm trying to get out of this game is some enjoyment. Like honestly, like that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get some enjoyment out of the game itself. And the way that I do that is by playing it and finding challenge. But there are just some games that, I don't know, just aren't right. They just aren't what I'm looking for. If that makes any sense. And that's okay, I think. Because everybody is different things. And that's why when I say that I don't like this specific puzzle, I do in fact mean this specific puzzle. Like it is specifically to me this puzzle that I'm not particularly fond of right now. And that's why I'm making this no longer a puzzle that I'm dealing with. Because I want to try other parts of the game without dealing with these puzzles. Because I don't enjoy them. I don't find the mechanics, the way that they interact with this, to be particularly enjoyable. I just don't. The challenge here is not what I was looking for in this game. And I think that's okay. Granted, there are some people who think differently. And they can kindly say whatever they want, because it's their opinion. But I'm going to disagree with them. Because this game does have many flaws. Many flaws. And again, it's okay for the game to have flaws.
So, during the journey over here, something small collided with the hull. Due to the fact that we were all sound asleep at the time, we can't know for sure what the cause was, but the damage seemed minimal. We were lucky. It could have been worse. Still, we figured the best course of action was to schedule a spacewalk to address the issue. As our only engineer, Marmalade didn't have much of a choice about whether or not to go outside. We have a buddy system in place, and he asked me to spot him. I've done my fair share of spacewalks. I knew what to expect. Marmalade, though, he was nervous. I could see him shaking while we suited up. It went okay at first. I did what I could to reassure him, and I thought he was holding in there. He almost got himself killed.
Okay, so we're not going to get to hear the whole story. Unfortunate. I wanted to hear the whole story. That's okay. So yeah. As I said. Oh, it was just an apple in the face of despair. Oh, did I not finish? I didn't finish these. Well, fuck, I would have finished these. I love these. We've got to do some lore. I'll remember this for next time. But yeah, I didn't particularly enjoy those puzzles. And that's okay. And we still have more of those too, which is unfortunate for me. In the meantime, it's Marmalade's birthday on Saturday. I feel like we've seen that. That's the cat being pregnant. Oh no. Alright, let's check the log. we're just gonna... Alright. Possible landing sites. We've already seen most of these. Orbital decay. Game nights. If I find one more cute little origami crane in a place I specifically do not want origami cranes. That's funny. More orbital decay stuff. I feel like we've already read this one. Precursor to a ruse tingle is nice. Okay. I'm locked out of everything, every major system and is sealed off. Oh, that's right. This was... Okay, this is good. This is like the more recent stuff where they actually were like... trying to do things. Bad things. Mutinous things. We should have just left Vermilion. Left? No, that's left Vermilion. Now we're criminals and Pistachio's... Wait, Pistachio's dead? I can only assume... Okay, something bad has happened. Okay, Aubergine, I spent the day getting the Alabaster ready for travel. It's late now, but if we're feeling up to it, we're prepped to leave in the morning. I'm locked out of everything. Swan. In the case of an emergency, she can remotely access the Alabaster. I suppose mutiny qualifies as an emergency. I had no idea it would extend to locking doors and overriding core systems. You're busy trying to work through this mess, but if you have a minute, could you please try to call in on Juniper? We're all grieving in our own way, but I'm extremely worried about her. This is the third day straight she hasn't left her room. Tried to coax her for not having it. We should have left Vermilion. So yeah, a bunch of dead people is, I presume, what happened. Arnold closely. I figured if there's a chance of another incident, we would want a heads up. This morning, the high radiation level started to resurface. Precursor to Pistachio's disappearance. So Pistachio just straight disappeared. Right, we've already heard about this, haven't we? We're going to have to use the escape pods. They're a little cramped, but the crowd-sleep pod and plenty of supplies. Get ourselves into an escape pod bay. As far as I can tell, everything is still in shape. Right, we did already know about that. I'd like to get some more information about what happened, but Surgery last night, acute appendicitis. We've seen this. I wanted a hot chocolate, but Vermilion said no, it has to be you. You'll get a crane and you'll like it. Watch some movies. Right, because Pistachio's the one who disappeared, and Pistachio and... Man, it's so hard to keep track of the relationships here. And Pistachio and Juniper were close. Hence this, because that's Vermilion. 2 whole days, but that's so good. That's what I want my weekend to be. This is the probe lodge. We've seen the lateness. Closest friend dealing with a potentially fatal illness. Go figure. Smuggle some in. Can't hurt, probably. Alright. We still have so much more lore, so much more lore. Oh my god, we have so much more lore. This is Canary. Canary Yellow. You arrived. I'm Swan. This one. Yep, 72 hours for augmentations. This is all stuff that we've seen before. Crew maintenance. I think this is the last one that we found, basically. Sorry, I keep accidentally pressing. Yep, worried about the cat, updating the OS, workstation cleanliness. Arrival went smoothly, although groggy, the crew seemed all in good spirits. Okay. The reason why we're getting all these late is because these are the ones that are the most... These are the ones that are going to be the most detailed. And now we're finding a whole bunch of them because they're canaries, so... We're going to see a lot of duplicates here, but I think the entries are going to be the more interesting part. It even says which week. Seen Sable, found Sable. Research, orbital decay, game night. Yep. I don't know how to play Smash Muddle Scrub. We all have blind spots. I think that's new. Marmalade almost died. Possible that I resent the fact that we don't have a dog. They began research, game night. Failed to take these emotions into account. I don't know what the NO3 is. I guess that's another... I thought... I mean, that's nitrogen trioxide, but... Oh, I forget how many valence electrons nitrogen has and how it would bond with... I mean, if something can bond NO2, it can bond NO3. You can add as many to that chain as you want. I guess it would be how stable it is. Because oxygen has 6 orbital electrons, so it wants a double bond. Anyway, NH3 is nitrogen trihydroxide, or no, not hydroxide, trihydrogen. That NH3 is like a nitroxyl group? It's been so long. My chemistry is not the worst, but it is old. Which might just make it bad. Week 1 Marmalade. Okay. Yeah, don't fix that. Lateness. Oh yeah, that's the joke. Probe report, we know that. Yep. Nothing odd about this one. Lunch tomorrow. No, the recording can correlate with what we're seeing. Alright. Aquarium log entry empty. Okay, so it didn't report about the so that is the aquarium. So when we get back around to Canary, we know we've seen them all thus far. Okay. Okay, yeah, bare feet. Alright. Beet root toothpaste, texture crunchy, size heavy, shape 0. Mood, small talk with a pleasant stranger. Interesting. Alright, so there is one thing that I want to do before we call this episode, because it's already been really long. And that is I want to wander over here to the pool. It was over here, right? Take a snapshot of it. I feel like this can be interpreted.
Right. I need you to bear with me for a second because I've got a vent here. When we were all selected for this mission, we could submit requests for things we wanted to have on board. These requests would be evaluated on costs and necessity and whatnot. Now, the Filament Corporation were pretty accommodating on the matter, but there was one thing I requested that got denied. I wanted a dance floor. You know, one of the ones with all the colored tiles and flashing lights? Now, I know a little unreasonable, it was a long shot, but think about the morale benefits. Unsurprisingly, my request was denied. Whatever, I was fine with it. But then I get on board and find that they've given Canary an entire pool. Now I know what you're thinking. Isn't a pool just a hole in the ground? Well, you're right. It is just a hole in the ground. A hole containing 400 gallons of water. Do you know how heavy that is? Heavier than a dance floor, and you can't spill a dance floor.
This is a 4x4 grid that I'm seeing here. Is that actually accurate?
You know, I've been aboard a few ships with pretty dire issues in the shower department. The Alabaster is not one of them. We've got it all. Good water pressure, dials that actually perform as advertised, and a seemingly endless supply of hot water. I'm sure you can appreciate that as a traveler yourself. I mean, your ship is pretty compact. I bet your shower is tiny. You have a shower, right? I'm going to choose to believe that you do.
I don't understand these. Okay, this is a 4x4 grid. Alright, so I'm shift tabbing and looking at the screenshot that I just took. Trying to look at the screenshot that I just took. Alright, so it went up and around. Like that. This is actually rather difficult. There. Over past that. Down and around like that. Just like that. Ooh. Corrupted! Union briefing. As a TFC employee in a managerial position, it is now more than ever your responsibility to be vigilant with regards to the formation of unions. At the Filament Corporation, we're against the concept of union. We aren't against the concept of unions per se, but we do believe that they are largely counterproductive to our particular business structure. TFC is managed by carefully selected and notably talented individuals who shouldn't be undermined. You and your subordinates are safe in their hands. You should understand this and regularly remind others of this too. With that in mind, here is a list of tips and tricks to keep our workforce union free. Communicate with your team. It's important that those under your management feel as though they have a voice and play a part in decisions that affect them. Encourage members of your team to air their grievances to you. Not only does this cement you as a trustworthy authority figure in their eyes, it gives them an outlet for their frustration and lowers the chance of any defective behavior. This is a little challenging to read. Regardless of the triviality of an employee's function, remind them that their work is not only valued, but a crucial component of TFC. Discourage employee socialization. Generally remind employees of the criminal nature of breaking TFC contracts. For information like this. The contents of this briefing are for colorless ranked TFC employees only. If you are not a colorless ranked employee but have found yourself in possession of this briefing, please report the infraction to a supervisor at your earliest convenience. Nice. So yeah, we won't talk about that. But basically, that's bad. That's pretty bad. Unions are, for better or worse, a weirdly, I guess it's not necessarily weirdly, but I find perhaps weirdly political thing. But it has to know with, it has to do with, business practices and leverage. And if you don't really know what unions are, for whatever reason, I recommend you look them up yourself. But basically, the long story short is that it's when workers at a corporation band together and use their collective influence to bargain with their place of work, basically. This is stuff that we've already seen from other sides. Unbecoming, rambunctious disagreeable, miscreant, fallacious, guiltless wry. But yeah, unions are considered, how do I put this? Generally by larger corporations, they're considered bad. Because unions give more power to the workers, and if you want to get too crazy with it, workers having power is bad for large corporations, generally. Because they... And this is where it starts to get political, kind of. Or at least maybe philosophical. But when a corporation has the power in the relationship of the employee-employer dynamic, you end up in a situation in which everything is defined by that relationship, right? Like, if you don't have power to bargain and your employer says this is the way things are, that's the way things are. Ideally, where you are working allows for you to have a little bit more say, perhaps. That's not always the case, though, and that's when unions are more likely to form. And unions basically allow people to be like, hey, every single person at this office is bargaining now. Oh my god. There are so many puzzles here. Hey, Aubergine. Aubergine does have quite a few mechanical enhancements. But yeah, so like, that's kind of how some of that works, as it were. So it kind of depends on whether you're more pro-business or more pro-worker. That tends to be how it gets broken down. It's not entirely black and white either way, or no matter how you look at it. What the hell? There's probably a hint on the back of this somewhere. But yeah, there's kind of a larger debate there about good and bad and stuff like that, so. But generally, larger corporations don't like unions because it denies them of power. Which, or not so much denies them power, but moves power into the hands of the workers, or some power, because obviously if the union goes, hey, we want this, and the corporation says no, that's when like a strike happens, or something along those lines, right? And maybe that works, maybe that doesn't. That's a whole different complicated issue. I'm just wandering while I'm talking here. But yeah, that's pretty much what that whole shtick is about, basically, so. This space station is so much larger than I thought. Oh, that is an event. So yeah, it's one of those things that, them having a memo that says no unions is not surprising at all. In fact, it is almost, I would go so far as to say, to be expected. Because, yeah, most corporations don't want unions. We'll check out that next week. Pistachio stinks. I'll have juniper. Nice. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and wander back down to the room with the puzzles that I like. Oh, interesting. There's that symbol on the stairs. So yeah. That's going to be it for this episode. We went pretty long on this one, but that's okay. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Obviously, as I said, I didn't really enjoy the one set of puzzles very much, but that's okay. That's just sometimes how it goes. But I will stop right here, and we'll get to do some more of the fun puzzles next time. So, I will see you then, but until then, keep your gears turning.